The Big Crown Jewel Championship is the only thing big in WWE at the moment, with no big storylines, with no big matches, with no big stars, and is evident with this SmackDown rating, with no big numbers anymore, as Friday Night SmackDown delivers the lowest rating in the history of the Blue brand. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We've been sick for the past week, but there's nothing sicker than WWE and their numbers getting flushed down the toilet. Someone needs to slap some paracetamol into the mouth of SmackDown, some ibuprofen, some Lemsips, something. Give them an adrenaline rush, because right now they are sinking to the bottom of the ocean. They are sinking to the bottom of the toilet bowl, and this is one of the biggest turds that needs flushed. Cody Rhodes, he was on last week's show, and it was the lowest rated SmackDown in the history of the brand. He was on this week's SmackDown, and it's the new lowest history in the history of the new lowest rating in the history, should I say, of the brand. So every time this guy appears, the numbers drastically go down.
When are we going to hit the reset button, folks, man? We have been saying this for years. Why do they just keep on fucking going with Cody Rhodes? Seth Rollins is a guy, right, that is actually notorious for, like, the worst ratings in history. See, any time they've gave him the belt, the ratings go down the shitter. And see Cody Rhodes, right? QB1, Cody Rhodes, whatever Triple H wants to fucking call him. When is enough, man?
See if this was real. See instead of arguing over who's the QB1, is it Cody or is it Roman Reigns? See if these two guys played for like the Kansas City Chiefs. They would both get like a couple of plays. They would both get like 5 minutes. The coach would let them see, he would give them a drive each down the field. He'd realise after they threw about 10 interceptions, holy fuck, both these guys are shite. And then they'd both be benched, and then QB3 would get a chance, and then QB4 would get a chance. And then, after realising that nobody on this roster is good enough to be QB1, the coach would be like, fuck it, and he'd trade them away, and he'd trade somebody else into the club. And that's what WWE need to do. They need to realise here, Cody Rhodes ain't the man. We need somebody else. Give somebody else a chance, and then when he fails in 3 months, give somebody else a chance. And then they get to the point where they realise, holy fuck, our roster's not got a single star between it. Therefore, we need to either create a new star, or we need to bring a star in from somebody else. Now, I'd argue, you look at wrestling, there is no stars. It's not like you can go and cherry pick someone from AEW. You can't really cherry pick someone for TNA. You sure as hell can't bring anybody in from Japan or Mexico, because we've seen over the years that those guys fucking suck. So WWE just need to look at their quarterback, they need to look at their bench, and they need to realise none of these guys are doing jack shit. So instead of keep putting them in the plays, instead of keep giving them the balls for them to miss passes and for them to miss touchdowns and for them to throw interceptions, they need to just create a new QB, because they've got to realise at this point none of the quarterbacks that they have are worth a fucking damn, and none of them should be starting. Hell, none of them even deserve to be on the bench. Fucking The Rock was basically QB2 to Austin.
Well, no, why do these dumb fucks bash like WCW 2000, where you had like 1 billion title changes? Fucking give me 1 billion title changes over this shit. No, I'm not even taking the piss, man, right? See, in the Attitude Era, say Austin lost the belt to Lance Storm, the fucking rating would half. We know it. Who on this roster, right, would you confidently say could hold this belt and it would do worse than this rating? And where's the fucking proof, right? If, say Dragon Lee defeated Cody Rhodes for the title, right? Fucking Clash in Paris. Where's the fucking proof that Dragon Lee would draw less than this overrated? Fuck! No, where is it though? No, where is it? I'm fucking sick to the back to you. So just repeating the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, man. I feel like I'm going insane. I listened to Russo last week, and he turned around and said he would rather throw shit against the wall, trying to be different, trying to make things happen, rather than keep on repeating the same thing. And that's what we've seen. Even the worst years, right, at WCW, people laugh at, the forklift, this on a pole match. All these things, right? All these different factors that might have resulted in WCW going down the pan. He was going up against a juggernaut, man. He was going up against the Predator. That was an almighty task, going up against WWE in 2000, right? And I actually admire Russo for what he did. He was thinking outside the box. And could you imagine if WCW just were out with a wee whimper? See what happened in the first week of 2000? They just did it 52 weeks in a row. But that's what we're seeing now. There's such an element of complacency in WWE in 2025. They just don't care. They get the big money in for the ticket sales, merchandise, and see the ratings. As much as we rant and rave, and I've lost the head here a bit because I'm actually just sick of it's the same fed over and over.
I think the big money's coming in from the TV networks as well. Like,
it is.
I think that's the true big money.
Yeah, but not the problem is for that though. They're going from TV network to TV network.
Well, sooner or later they're going to run out.
No, you would think so, but at the end of the day, it feels like everybody wants a piece of this pie.
Oh, if I was USA Network, they had Raw before Raw went. Now, maybe I guess USA Network aren't as big as a network as Fox, so maybe they've got less standards. But they must have knew that here. Hold on, the ratings for this are shite. Now, maybe they don't have much, and they want to be able to have weekly television that they can guarantee for 52 weeks a year, and they're happy to accept a rating of like 1.5 million. But now we're getting dangerously close to that, going under 1 million. The SmackDown numbers weren't good enough for Fox, and at least when it was on Fox, it was getting over 2 million. So, I mean, surely we'll get to a point where the USA Network are also like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we did want WWE because it guarantees you weekly TV, weekly content, 52 weeks a year, but at the same time, we don't want weekly TV content if it's doing like 800,000, 700,000, so I'm not sure what the cut-off period is for USA Network, but I'm going to assume that it can't be much lower than 1 million, and let's say the USA Network no longer want WWE, we see that Fox don't want them, so they're either going to have to take a massively reduced deal in terms of finances in order to keep wrestling on TV, or they might just try and move SmackDown to Netflix as well. But Netflix, I'm sure, will look at the results and the statistics and the numbers that Raw are doing, and Netflix will probably like, oh, well, we're not going to offer you the same deal for SmackDown as we did for Raw. So sooner or later, I think all these brands are going to just be fed up. All these television networks are going to be fed up with WWE and the lack of success. So either way, I mean, they can keep getting money out of these network deals and out of the subscription services and shit like that, but sooner or later, the inability to deliver in terms of numbers and ratings is going to come back to haunt WWE for sure. Now, if we look at the clips here for the SmackDown, and this is obviously the last one before Crown and Crown Jewel, and this happened in Australia, and we don't normally look at the full highlights, but I think something that is concerning is that this full SmackDown highlights did 820,000, and we're talking that is only 200,000 off of the full show, so it's looking like people would rather watch the full show than... I mean, people would almost rather watch the highlights than watch the full show. That's fucking mental. You would never get that in a good show. Like, people would never watch the highlights of Breaking Bad because you'd want to watch the full episode because it's actually a good TV show. Once you're condemned to watching the highlights, once you've just resorted to checking a few clips, that's when you know a show's not good, and this show certainly isn't good. But yeah, I mean, I guess it was pre-taped, I guess, so maybe people just didn't really want to watch it, but either way, last week's number was fucking god-awful as well, so you can't really keep making excuses for this company.
See if it was good, right? See if the Americanos, if all the Americans were getting...
That's a drink, mate.
I know it is, but I'm calling them Americanos. But if all the Americans got news, right, and spoilers that... I remember, right, waking up on a Wednesday morning back in the day, and you know what was in the Wednesday morning? The SmackDown spoilers. And I remember going through them before going to school thinking, I cannot wait till that show is on. Sometimes it was on Thursday 10 PM UK time or Friday 10 PM. And I remember being like, oh my god, yes, 2 days to wait till this happens, right?
Pizza cabin.
Yep, getting a takeaway and watching SmackDown, right? See when something's good, you will watch it.
Spoilers or no spoilers?
Yeah.
See if a show's good. See if someone says, Walter White's going to let Jane die and choke to death. you're not going to be like, oh, wow, I'm not going to watch Breaking Bad now. Someone spoiled it. No, you're going to still fucking watch it. Now, yes, spoilers are annoying, but if a TV show's good, you're not just going to skip an episode because it gets spoiled for you.
No other thing, though, it doesn't help.
Like, unfortunately for me, The Walking Dead, the episode where Shane dies, I kind of got that spoiled before watching it.
But you still watched it.
But I still watched it because I was like, fuck, I need to see this episode. Because The Walking Dead was good back then.
No, but it's like Cody Rhodes here. Right?
And actually, I would argue that sometimes if there's a big spoiler, you're more likely to watch that because you know you're getting something big.
Yeah, but see Cody Rhodes, right? It's like he's QB1, right? But why does Aleister Black and Damian Priest get the last man standing match? You notice the way back in the day it was the Stars that got the big match? Why is Cody Rhodes... Cody Rhodes' entire gimmick is coming out looking well dressed. That's not good enough. That's no cutting it. I don't care about your suits, mate. No, do you not feel like that's what they go for, though? The guy's well dressed. What sort of character's that?
Yeah, who wanted a well dressed Austin? Remember the days when Austin went to stick a suit on? It was because he was selling it to McMahon. Nobody wants to fucking sell it. Who wants? Oh, the guy looks good in a suit. It's like fucking Hogan. When did you want Hogan coming out in a suit? Or did you want Hogan coming out with the fucking pythons on show?
No, but...
With the red and yellow ribbons wrapped around him?
Though, right? Look at all the commitments that, like, Hogan...
No, but do you not think suits
Hogan Cena did? But, see, Cody Rhodes is doing all their commitments, but doing it from a business point of view, when traditionally in wrestling, wearing a suit is selling it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of any other era where people wearing a suit was considered to be the face, the good guy.
Always heel.
I mean, if you look at Evolution, Main Event Mafia, I was just trying to... The Authority, albeit Seth didn't wear a suit back then, because he would have fucking looked retarded. Look at
guys like Ted DiBiase, Paul Bear, Paul Heyman, they all wear suits. It's like the heel thing. It's like
JBL.
They've got money.
Down.
When he was... White Boy Challenge player.
You know, I'm trying to think of a big baby face that used to come out wearing suits. Never fucking happened.
IRS, he wore suits, didn't he?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of someone that would wear suits.
It's hard for IRS to be a face, but...
Yeah, well, that is true, but I just can't really think of any...
Maybe he was giving people tax rebates.
Just can't think of any era where the good guys wore suits.
Right, but back to Cody Rhodes here, right? Well, let's just get... I mean, is his clip up next?
No, it's almost last. Anyway, what were you going to say? Before we move on to the highest clip.
No, we'll wait to him, because I just assumed that the QB1 would be after the highlights, at least.
Nah, guy's throwing a fumble. Right, highest clip of the week. Solo Sikoa in the MTF destroy Sami Zayn in a brutal attack. 614k. Oh, the MTF's getting a bit of face paint now. People are going to pretend that this group's amazing. I mean, they just look like fucking juggalos now, don't they? I don't really understand it.
Shite version of Demolition.
I mean, if these guys got in the ring now with the Wyatt Six, it would just look like one faction.
Yeah, why does
and also, why was Nikki Cross, by the way, staring across for, no pun intended, Solo Sikoa as if she was going to do something?
Well, why does every single faction, story, feud need dragged out to fuck in 2025? We have got factions that have been running for like half a day. See this MFT pish? It's essentially the Bloodline. Yeah,
but do you remember when Judgment Day and the Bloodline were face to face in the ring, and they had like Rhea Ripley go up face to face with Solo Sikoa? I mean, I'm not defending it, like, but at least
I don't really remember. No,
you have to remember it was like on Raw. But
right, you say I have to remember.
Well,
I wouldn't go as far as say.
Either way, it's because they don't want to have Rhea Ripley look weak, and then they did it here like 2 weeks ago with Nikki Cross staring across with Solo Sikoa. Again, pun not intended, but it's like it just makes the man look fucking weak. Like back in the day, if there was a female involved, she kind of would have been standing behind the men in her group.
No, but they're showing the MFTs as this like dominant force, so they just battered the tag division, but then they're all bottling some like 5'1" Nikki Cross. It's a fucking shite look.
Well, they're not all bottling. Or the point was Solo Sikoa was staring down at her, but in reality, that doesn't make him look very intimidating. If she's getting up in his face, does it?
But that's my point.
How are they all bottling her?
Well, because they fucking battered everybody else, and she just gets a free pass.
No, they didn't. They were all standing in the ring. It was like the Wyatt Sixes looking across, and they were like looking at the MTF. So it was like a face-off, a standoff between the two factions.
No, well, I'm talking about last week then, not this week.
What happened last week?
She was face to face with Solo Sikoa.
Are you sure that's not the week I'm talking about?
No, because I fucking watched it.
So,
Definitely.
so what happened when she was faced with Solo Sikoa? The rest of the Wyatt Six were laid out?
Yeah, they battered him. They came in and battered him.
And they didn't batter her? She was just the last person standing?
Yes, I talked about it in a review.
How fucking retarded is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, but man, come on, look at this. Solo Sikoa came in, right? Look, the enforcer to the bloodline, Roman Reigns, looks like he's going to be like the next guy in the blood. And now he's leading the MFTs against a bunch of jobbers. End it. Just nuke it, man. Steamroll it.
Having women involved in men's segments just does not fucking work. So you're saying the MTFs laid out everybody in the Wyatt Six apart from her, she just stood there looking as if she was going to do something but done nothing?
Yeah.
Right, okay, second...
No, but not the thing is, no, actually annoys me, right? We say that they don't know they're doing it. They do know they're doing it, because when do you ever see, like, Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns look weak to a woman? They never book them in those situations. It's only like the mid-carders.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I guess I've got 5 good women for every one guy, so... Whatever, right? Full match. Damian Priest, Aleister Black, 602,000 views. This came in second place. I mean, this just goes to show you can stick full match in front of any two jobbers and you'll get a decent amount of views. Not that 602 is decent, but compared to where we are in this video, 602 is no bad. Right, so that was second place. Then in third place, we had Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Fakir team up for Epic Tag Team Win. I don't know if I'd describe it as an epic tag team win. Epic tag team wins, I think, is like when Jericho and Benoit beat the two-man power trip for the tag team titles in one of the greatest main events of Monday Night Raw. That, to me, is an epic tag team win. Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Fakir. Who the fuck did they beat? Probably like Julia and the person with the handbag.
Yep.
Kiana
What's
James.
What's epic about that? You're expecting them to win.
And if they didn't beat those two, it would have been Chelsea Green and Alba Fire.
Yep.
So, I mean, either way, beating none of those two teams is epic.
Look what you used to get, guys.
Fourth place, Sol Ruka and Saria crash SmackDown to confront Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. 290k. 2 women from NXT showing up, got more views than Cody Rhodes, guys.
Right, no, come on. How can anyone defend this guy? This is what I mean about Dragon Lee. Anybody could be Cody Rhodes. See these people that actually defend this guy to the death? I'm looking at you, Reece Angel, right? Because you're in every bloody comment section. How can we defend this guy? When would The Rock, Austin, Cena, Hogan, when would these guys get outdrawn by a bunch of women for the developmental show? It needs called out. We can't sit here and pretend this guy was a mid-carder 15 years ago. He's only rose to the top because wrestling's declined massively, and also Triple H probably made some sick twisted promise to his fat polka dot wearing daddy. That's all we're getting at here, man.
Let me tell you about hard times. Anyway,
no,
right?
But it's the same with Rhodes. It's the same with Drew McIntyre. It's the same. All these guys, man. They weren't good enough 15 years ago. But now, because all the guys that were good enough are retired, maybe sadly passed away, or are just a lot worse than they were then, this is when they're all getting their opportunities.
And even then, those opportunities are coming slowly because it seems like every world title reign now automatically gets 6 months. Minimum. Minimum. Honestly, wait, why the fuck couldn't Cena still be champion?
I cannot comprehend how fucking bad that is that Cody Rhodes, right, going into a Raw versus SmackDown mega main event as it's being billed, champion versus champion, his final promo is drawing less than a bunch of women for NXT. You're talking about Breaking Bad earlier, right? When would Walter White talk about a confrontation where, like, Gus Fring draw less views than
Marie going to buy shoes or something,
or Wendy for Meth Mountain. I mean, what? Come on, guys, come on.
Different shoulder, but
no, but it's the same principle. It's like, well, what are we doing?
Right, 5th place, Cody Rhodes to Seth Rollins. I'm the one who you cannot beat. 240k. This guy's a disgrace. 240,000, man. Absolute bogging. 6th place, Selena Vega helps Aleister Black win the last man standing match. So, I mean, this is the true views. You take away full match, and this is what it kind of leaves you. 215k. And then in last spot, the Street Profits challenged the Wyatt Six for the tag team titles. 194,000. Anybody surprised that you put the Street Profits in a tag team match with the Wyatt Six and you get under 200k? I certainly am not. But look, Cody Rhodes, 240,000. I mean, I don't think it... You can say we bash Roman Reigns a lot, but come on, Roman Reigns is a bigger star than this guy.
Oh, of course he is. It's not even close, man.
This guy's a fraud.
Yo, wrestling, anyone who touches it, they do end up damaging themselves. It's happened to Cena this year, right? But see, when Cena was world champion, are you trying to tell me when he was cutting his promos this year, he was getting outdrawn by Solo Ruko and Sariat? Not a chance, man. It's time to see this Cody Rhodes experiment, right?
It's failed. It's ended. It's over.
Yeah.
Why isn't Cena the champion? Could have gave us Cena versus Brock, something interesting.
No, but see Cody Rhodes, right? Like the past, see ever since he's returned to WWE, he has felt like a guy. Pretty much in every feud he's been in, he's punching above his weight.
Yeah.
See when you watch wrestling back in the day, and you watch different eras, and like guys are coming through, right? See when you watch Stone Cold Steve Austin in '97 going up against Bret Hart, right? Even though at that point, at like WrestleMania 13, Bret is a bigger star than Austin. Austin doesn't feel at his depth. Austin feels like a guy that's going to the top. See, anytime you see Cody Rhodes feuding with like Cena, feuding with Brock, feuding with The Rock, even with Reigns, he is like a fish out of water. He does not feel special.
Speaking of special, I wonder who's going to be the new challenger for Cody Rhodes.
Are they going to pull the trigger on Randy?
I mean, at this point, does anyone fucking care?
Oh, Randy's looking at him. Yeah, your voices in my head. And also, but sure, it's alright, because Cena heard the same voices, man. Kayfabe just getting broken everywhere you go.
Anyway, guys, this week's rating, diabolical.
It's
like
funny,
I said,
though.
5,000 down on last week. And
see, back in the day, though, see being 5,000 down for like 9.5 million to 9.5 million. No, they didn't do 5,000 then. You know what I mean? They only cared about being down 100k.
Yeah.
Now it's got to the point where it's like being down 5,000 is the end of the world.
Every one person, every one view matters.
I remember like a decade ago, like they changed the rating system again, because I remember it was like based off percentage.
Aye.
But then, so that helped it. And now we're seeing this like drastic change with smart TVs where it's like not alienating an older audience, but it's definitely making it more legit. And even without it, right, it was always going to go under a mil. See,
yeah, because back in the day when TNA was doing when TNA did a 1.5 and that was their highest rating of all time, that wasn't a 1.5 million. That was 1.5% of people watching TV or watching TNA, which translated into well over 2 million. So and that's the way the wrestling ratings used to be. Like in the Attitude Era, when you were getting a 6.1, that wasn't 6.1 million, that was 6.1% of people that were watching TV, were watching your show.
I remember, was it Raw 25, the Austin McMahon R did like 5.7 million. So obviously when you equate the rating, it went down. So that's about 2018, so around then I think that's when it changed. So, I mean, honestly, if you were factoring in the old rating system to these ratings right here, I mean, what would they be doing?
It'd be about 0.7.
And that's what we're dealing with. There is no needle movers. Like back in the day, man, you had guys that the guys themselves could bring in this number. That's when you know it's done.
It's all over. Anyway, guys, that's it. These ratings fucking suck. Cody Rhodes needs to be replaced. Till next time, peace.